all the attention really on what's happening in the NASDAQ. And when you see markets going down, where do you naturally look? Of course, the VIX. And when we look at the VIX, who do we bring on? Yahoo Finance's Jared Blikre standing by to talk a little bit about what we've seen, Jared, with the VIX up almost a full point today. We saw the VIX really down in the low teens most of the end of 2023. What are you looking at there as we see the market kind of rotating through to start the year and volatility maybe coming back into the picture a bit?
Yeah, a couple different themes. First, the big picture is that the VIX has been trading low. You can see it has a 13 handle right now. It's been low for some time going back to November. And this is just a multi-month chart, but you take a look at the last 3 years, and I'll put a line graph on here so you can really see how it has trended down and then it has stayed down. The other thing that's going on, as you mentioned, is that the VIX has been rallying in lockstep with the S&P 500 on certain days. That's not supposed to happen, although it does, because option theory, well, I'm not going to get into the wonky math of it. It just happens sometimes. But Andrew Thrasher over at Thrasher Analytics has taken a look at this, and he's looked for signals over the last 23 years. This goes back to the late 1990s, when the VIX and SPY, that's the S&P 500 ETF, rally within 21 days. If they're up 10 of those 21 days together, that's a signal. And what it portends is potential VIX spikes. And so if the VIX goes further up, that historically has been concomitant with a downward draft in equities. So when you see these VIX spikes, this has been a short-term downtrend in stocks. But I should emphasize, this is not a long-term indicator. This is just kind of a short-term, things are out of whack, and let's see where this is going to go. But we got a spike in the VIX of 12 in about 2004. We got another one around 2011 here that was worth 6.5 points. In 2016, maybe early 2017, we got one for 26 points. You put it all together, and we could see a little bit of a downdraft given the Santa Claus melt-up rally that we've been seeing since late last year. I do want to point out that the VIX fear gauge, this is seasonality. This map, this is the average from 1990 to 2023. This worked very well last year, and I was overlaying this basically from the second half of the year. This has been calling the twists and turns of the market very well. So since we are back in January, I'm going to be looking for some potential downside VIX in February, but we could get this spike in the meantime. So that would be kind of par for the course for what I've been talking about here. So we may get a little bit of a VIX spike, but it doesn't necessarily signal that big trend change.
All right, Jared Blikre, thanks so much for breaking everything down here for the VIX and what investors need to keep your eye on here as we enter 2024.